Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more Los Angeles Lakers news, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. The Lakers are in desperate need of a center, yet coach Redick missed an opportunity to sign a big man for the playoffs. Trey Jemison III played well when he was in the rotation and showed that he has the athleticism and physique to compete with big men. Redick insisted on keeping Alex Len on the roster and missed out on improving the Lakers roster for the playoffs. It's settled, Trey Jemison III will not play in the playoffs for the Lakers, he was not signed. A lack of size cost the Lakers in Game 1 against the Timberwolves, but Trey Jemison III won't be coming to save the day. When the Lakers rescinded their deal for Mark Williams after the trade deadline, they left themselves woefully short on frontcourt depth. Jackson Hayes filled in admirably as their stopgap starting center, but their signing of Alex Len didn't pan out as hoped. That came back to haunt the Lakers in Game 1 against the Minnesota Timberwolves on Saturday. Rudy Gobert played only 24 minutes and finished with 2 points and 6 rebounds, but Naz Reid immolated them with 23 points off the bench, including 6 of 9 shooting from deep. Meanwhile, Hayes and Len combined to play 11 minutes and finished with 1 point, 7 rebounds, and 0 assists, steals or blocks. The Lakers tried to go small against Minnesota with a heavy dose of Rui Hachimura and Dorian Finney-Smith, but Reid routinely punished them for that decision. Jaden McDaniels also torched them with 25 points on 11 of 13 shooting and 9 rebounds in only 33 minutes, while Julius Randle added 16 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists, albeit along with 7 turnovers. Underscore 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 underscore. The Lakers could try to keep Hayes on the floor for longer in Game 2, but they otherwise don't have an obvious quick fix off their bench. Two-way center Trey Jemison III showed promise late in the year, but the Lakers never converted him to a standard contract before the end of the regular season, which means he's ineligible to play in the playoffs. That could come back to bite them if they don't find an answer for the Timberwolves' size. The Lakers' hard cap issues might have contributed to their decision not to convert Jemison at first. They finished the season only $670,000 below the second apron and they weren't allowed to exceed that threshold under any circumstances. However, rest-of-season contracts prorate based on how many days are left in the regular season, so they could have converted Jemison late in the year without being at risk of crossing the second apron. According to ESPN's Dave McMenamin, the Lakers also liked the chemistry of their roster heading into the playoffs and didn't want to shake that up by waiving someone to convert Jemison. Perhaps Len is a major boon to the locker room, but he also racked up 11 straight DNPs late in the season. Would waiving him have made that much of a difference from a chemistry perspective? Granted, the Lakers might have been courting disaster by relying on a two-way player who's played for 4 teams in the past 2 seasons. Then again, if they got him more run late in the regular season, perhaps he'd be better equipped to play a handful of minutes in the playoffs. After all, head coach Redick told reporters in mid-March that Jemison had really earned the trust of the coaching staff. Realistically, the Lakers might just not have any good options here. As soon as they went back on the Williams trade, they effectively guaranteed that frontcourt depth would be a major Achilles heel of theirs until the offseason. They just happened to draw an opponent with size galore in the first round of the playoffs. If the Lakers can flip that on them in Game 2 and small ball the Timberwolves to death, perhaps Game 1 will wind up being an anomaly. But if the Wolves continue to bully them with their size, the Lakers may rue their decision not to convert Jemison, if only to give themselves another option to try to stem the bleeding. 3 adjustments Lakers must make after Game 1 disaster versus Timberwolves. Game 1 between the Los Angeles Lakers and Minnesota Timberwolves was dictated by size, athleticism, physicality, and shot-making. Meaning, Minnesota overwhelmed LA with immense size, athleticism, physicality, and shot-making. While perhaps Minnesota's shot-making might regress closer to the mean, several factors remain within LA's control that they need to fare much better with to turn the series around. 19.4K. LeBron James gets a Barbie doll. Lakers need to understand the moment. After practice Monday afternoon, Redick said the Lakers have to play harder and be more organized. With all due respect, needing to be reminded after being blown out that teams scout better and take each moment more seriously is a pretty bad look for anyone in a leadership position with the Lakers. From Redick to LeBron James and Luka Doncic, and on throughout the roster, that can't be the starting point on what the Lakers will need to do better. The Lakers are supposed to be the more veteran team. If anyone should have known going into Saturday night's blowout loss what it would take to avoid that outcome or, even better, be on the other side of the blowout, wouldn't that be the team led by James, who has appeared in more games than any other NBA player ever? Redick may be the least experienced coach in the history of the playoffs, but as a player, he made the postseason every year he was in the NBA, except one. In total, he appeared in 110 playoff games. Surely, he would be able to pull from that experience to remind his team what all goes into winning playoff games, or at least avoiding getting embarrassed in them. As far as organization goes, that falls squarely on the head coach. More on Redick in a bit. Doncic may only be 26, but he was just in the NBA Finals last season. Sure, he's new to the Lakers locker room, but as the team's best player, if he senses guys aren't ready, he needs to step up and remind them about the task at hand. Saturday was the first game won in LA since the 2010-11 season. The Lakers only now arriving at the realization that they missed the opportunity in front of them is a pretty poor reflection of the leadership in place. Welcome to the playoffs, JJ. Quite plainly, Timberwolves head coach Chris Finch coached circles around the new guy. Redick stuck with a painfully similar game plan for Game 1 as the last time the Lakers and Wolves met. In fairness to Redick, the Lakers beat the Wolves comfortably, though it should be pointed out that Rudy Gobert and Julius Randle did not play in that game. Finch came ready for Game 1 with counters to what he and his coaching staff saw, and the Lakers never adjusted. For example, Jared Vanderbilt, Rui Hachimura, and Dorian Finney-Smith were primarily tasked with guarding Anthony Edwards. In order to get Edwards in space against lesser defenders, Minnesota set screens, knowing how switch-heavy LA's defense is. The result was Austin Reeves or Doncic on Edwards whenever Minnesota wanted. Overswitching has also plagued the Lakers on several occasions this season, so Redick and his staff not being able to adjust became all the more frustrating to watch. Making things worse, Reeves was also minimized by how little organized offense the Lakers ran, so because of what the Wolves were doing offensively and because of how the Lakers approached their own offense. Are the Lakers in trouble after their 22-point loss to the Timberwolves at home? After the Minnesota Timberwolves stunned the Los Angeles Lakers in Game 1 of their first-round playoff series, leading by as much as 27 points on Los Angeles's home court, Anthony Edwards was asked if he had a message for all of the national media that picked the Lakers to win. "No message, man," Edwards said, "they still got the Lakers. The Lakers are supposed to win. That's just how it's supposed to go. We're not supposed to be here. So, we're just going to compete." Edwards played it cool, but the Timberwolves delivered an emphatic message in their 117-95 win on Saturday: "Don't sleep on us." Yes, the Lakers are the third seed and have two of the biggest superstars in the league in LeBron James and Luka Doncic. But the Timberwolves made it to the Western Conference Finals last season, and, even though they've had some bumps this season, they're deep, physical and hungry. Advertisement. To learn more, visit this link. For the Lakers, things got out of hand quickly. They were in control in the first quarter, with Doncic scoring 16 points to give the Lakers a 28-21 lead, despite James and Austin Reeves going a combined 0-for-5 over that period. It seemed as though LA was surely going to clobber the Timberwolves as soon as the floodgates opened for its other two superstars. The only problem was James and Reeves remained cold, leaving Doncic on an island against a Timberwolves team that was about to catch fire. In the second quarter, the Timberwolves outscored the Lakers, 38-20. The barrage continued in the third quarter, with the Timberwolves storming out of halftime with an 11-0 run. The Lakers didn't just lose. They were humiliated. At times, it looked as though they weren't even trying, with them gesticulating their frustration instead of running back on defense. The question now is, are the Lakers in trouble? They're obviously not panicking. We let go of the rope, said Doncic, who had 37 points and 8 rebounds. I think that they just physically beat us from the get-go, said Reeves, who had 16 points on 5-4-13 shooting. We gotta do a better job of controlling the controllables, said James, who had 19 points, though it took him 18 shots to get them. The fans at Crypto.com Arena, who opened the night wildly cheering in celebration of the Lakers having home court advantage in the playoffs for the first time since 2020, were stunned into near silence in the second quarter. The Timberwolves overwhelmed the Lakers, on defense, with swarming bodies, and on offense, with a three-point barrage, making a franchise playoff record 21 three-pointers on 42 attempts from beyond the arc, 50%. Jaden McDaniels scored 25 points. Naz Reid added 23 points with 6 three-pointers. And Edwards had 22 points, 9 assists and 8 rebounds. It was a complete team effort for the Timberwolves, who kept things in perspective despite their dominant performance. It means Game 1, Minnesota coach Chris Finch said. We know it's going to be a long series. We're not under any assumption that it's going to be this type of game in Game 2. It'll be a completely different game. We got a lot left. A lot of meat on the bone out there. A lot of things. I know we can do better. Both teams had about a week off after clinching their respective seeds. But with the way things played out Saturday, it seemed as though the Lakers miscalculated that their recent success would carry into the postseason, while the Timberwolves prepared for war. Heck, the Timberwolves were even locked in on their plane ride to Los Angeles. The 4 hours that we was on our way here, we talked, we watched games when the Lakers played against OKC, when they played against Dallas, Edwards said. It all worked out for the Timberwolves, who made it clear they can't be overlooked. As for the Lakers, they're hoping Game 1 was just an anomaly, as opposed to the beginning of the end. LA Lakers youngster did more in 3 minutes on playoff debut than one teammate did in 32, JJ Redick knows his value. Originally posted on NBA Analysis Network by Dan Coombs, last updated April 22, 2025, 12:05 a.m. Eastern Time. The Los Angeles Lakers are looking for answers heading into Game 2 against the Minnesota Timberwolves. A flat showing from the LA Lakers saw them begin the NBA playoffs with a defeat at home to the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Lakers fell to a 22-point margin defeat, with Luka Doncic the only player who could hold his head high, with 37 points, but even then, he managed an unusually low 1 assist. Minnesota's strong performance was tied into their strong bench, with Naz Reid scoring 23 and Dante DiVincenzo adding 9. The Lakers' bench had no impact at all, and this is one area the team need to fix. The lack of impact on from LA Lakers supporting cast was summed up by a late impact made by rookie Dalton Knecht. Making his NBA playoffs debut, Dalton Knecht was only given the opportunity to play 3 minutes of Game 1. In Dalton Knecht's 3 minutes, he scored 5 points and managed 3 rebounds. Yes, this might have come in garbage time at the end of the matchup, yet it was more than any non-Lakers starter managed to produce, and more than one of the lineup, with Jackson Hayes scoring only 1 point. Dorian Finney-Smith scored only 3 points in 32 minutes, Gabe Vincent scored just 3 points in 25, and Jared Vanderbilt 2 points in 14 minutes. Finney-Smith is usually a reliable contributor, but his total stat line was 3-2-3, and Vincent 3-0-1. Knecht's scoring highlighted their inefficiency, and his bravery to get shots up and try to make his presence felt.